What is up, world? You are in tune to the Know It All podcast. And of course, you got your usual suspects here with you. My man, my mellow, Big Tate. What's popping? How you doing, man?
What's up, Maud? I'm good, man. Just another Sunday afternoon. Lots of sports going on. We just got off the Steel Curtain Network homie podcast, me and Big G. We had a lot of our people out there in the live chat and watching that we appreciate. Hope some of them came over here to check us out.
Man, most definitely, most definitely. Big G, what's popping, man? G.
I needed some recovery time, and I thank for all the prayers and everything that was going on from the live chat based on what happened for my Pittsburgh Steelers in the draft, man. Man, thank you, but I needed the recovery time. I done been in the lab, and we're going to get it in about this NFL 2023 draft for sure.
What is up, Afton? What's up, Big Dirt? That's my partner right there, man. Definitely, man. We like to thank you guys for rocking with us, man. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube and Twitch so that when we go live, you'll definitely get those notifications that we are there. And welcome all of our TikTok watchers and viewers. Definitely rocking with us. We appreciate you, man. We got a lot to get into, man. We want to dive into the draft and how we saw it. There's some things that I just want to talk about and G and Tate want to get into specific. And then, of course, y'all questions. But before we do, man, let's definitely get into this. And again, we are back, man. We are ready to get it cracking and get it going. You guys, man, hey, I just want to say, I want to commend your front office. The Pittsburgh Steelers front office did a dang good job. I'm talking about a dang good job. What is up, man? Joshua Armstead, I think you knew, man. I don't remember seeing you before. Have y'all ever seen Joshua in here?
No,
thank you. But glad he here. What's up, Josh?
What up, Josh? Thank you for coming, man. We appreciate you for having spending this time with us, man. We definitely appreciate that. But look, y'all's front office, man. Y'all's front office did a excellent, and I mean excellent job. I need Take to sound off on this, man, because I know especially you got a really good take on this, man. Talk to me about the job y'all's front office did in the trade.
Well, why our front office does such a good job, man. His first year, man, because we got Omar Khan, aka the con artist. That's what we call him around the bird, the con artist, man. He out here conning cats, turning Chase Claypool in the Peasy Jr. Come on, man. We out here willing and dealing and doing what he got to do, man. So the trade initially you talk about, Mod, was in the first round. We moved from 17 up to 14, traded with the evil empire, Mr. Hoodie himself, because one of two reasons. Because he likes to trade back and just acquire more picks. But also, he wanted to stick it to the New York Jets, right? I mean, that's in his division. Why would he want Aaron Rodgers to have Broderick Jones protecting him?
Yeah, right.
That's what they were going to do. So he traded back, got an extra pick, and made his rush, who he ended up picking, Lucas Van Ness, made it a little easier for him to get to Aaron Rodgers when they play those two games this year, man. So the Hoodie was thinking too, but he kind of got by the con artists because we got Broderick Jones, top 3 tackle. I'd say top 2. I might put Paris Johnson ahead of him. But I got Broderick Jones on upside ahead of Storonsky. Then we traded up, got that, lost pick 120. Then we sit and let the first round go by, and what happens? PZ Jr. drops to number 32. So at pick 32, we get the player we was debating about taking at pick 17 against Broderick Jones.
Tate, you making my pressure go up, man.
Hey, man.
Keep going.
Big G, I don't want you to have heart palpitations, man. Be cool. We've heard this one. Just woosah. Woosah, Big G. Woosah.
Woosah.
Okay?
Okay.
Then at pick 49, Mod, I want us, oh, man, this where we got our chance to get Darnell Washington, pick 49.
Yeah.
But no, con artists don't go for that, man. He takes Keanu Benton, first team all Big Ten defensive tackle.
Nasty.
He's going. I think he can kind of play, replace what we lost in Hargrave a few years ago. I think he's that capable of a player. So we get him at pick 49. He was always on our board. I thought maybe we could get him at 80, but he rose up draft boards. We probably wouldn't have got him at 80. So me and Big G talking after the pick 49. We talking because there's nothing to do but wait till pick 80, right? So we talking about who might be there. I said, man, Big G, Darnell Washington will be gone. Drew Sanders going to be gone. Trent Simpson going to be gone. All them players we were looking at in that range between 49 and 80. Then we finally get to 80, and we like, oh, Darnell Washington's still there. This is our pick. Not con artist, not yet. Con artist trades back to 93, picks up pick 132, because remember we lost 120 giving it to the Hoodie and the Evil Empire. So he falls back to 93, and then what happens in 93? We get Darnell Washington still. The 33rd player on Daniel Jeremiah's big board list. We get him to pick 93. Come on, con artist. Then so we acquired pick 132, an extra pick, and we get the homie Nate Herbig from Wisconsin. His brother's on the team, lineman. He's trained with TJ Watt already. They have a relationship. He's probably going to be our third edge rusher. I mean, so I say all that, man, those first 5 picks. And I won't even bring up 7th round pick Corey Trice, Ma. You know about him. Big, rangy corner, 6'3", 206, 207.
Hit like a linebacker.
And him and PZ Jr. gonna learn under Pat P. Come on, man. Give me an A+ for that draft.
Yeah, I like it, man. And I totally agree that it was an A+. I agree that it was an A+, man. I totally agree it was an A+ draft. Talk to me, G. You in the captain's seat, man. I mean, Tate went over the whole draft, but give me your synopsis.
Tate, 150% on the money, man. The Pittsburgh Steelers is one of, in my opinion, 3 teams that had an A+ draft for the entirety. But the big thing that got to hit on before I start dogging a particular person that's out there in trash land is that the Pittsburgh Steelers, I believe, solidified their team for the next 10 seasons. I believe without a shadow of a doubt, we have at least 2 Pro Bowlers and possibly a 3rd Pro Bowler drafted in this draft. And I also know, after I did the research, and me and Ahmad was talking about, who had the best A, B, C, and D and all whatever else going on across the board as far as the teams is concerned and with best drafts, that the Pittsburgh Steelers was one of 6 teams in 40 years to land 6 of the top 85 players in pre-draft ratings. There's only been 6 teams that's ever done it. And I know that will solidify and put Pittsburgh in position, not just to fight for the division, not just to get in the playoffs, but put us in position to possibly bring a trophy home in Pittsburgh within the next, I give it 3 to 6 seasons. Because the issue is the maturation of the kid under quarterback. And I don't know if you guys have been out there watching. If you're on the Pivot podcast, and shout out to the Pivot podcast, man, but they did a whole segue and segment of Kenny Pickett. They don't waste their time on scrubs. They don't waste their times on guys that can not play football. And they definitely went in depth and showed how much Pickett has been working on his game and perfecting it to get us ready for the season. So if Pickett jumps, Steeler fans out there, let's get it popping. But I'm not going to dog the division in any shape, form, or fashion because the AFC North is the toughest division in football. You got to handle your business. Between the Cleveland Browns, the Baltimore Ravens, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Pittsburgh Steelers, all of us had outstanding drafts. So now let's get it on and let's get it popping in Pittsburgh.
I love it, man. I mean, totally. I was thoroughly impressed. I was thoroughly impressed with what the front office did. You know, they showed up and they showed out. They did their thug thizzle. You know, when it comes down to it, and we start looking at the draft, you know, there was some things that, you know, in the first round, I'm gonna tell you, I was looking at the Cowboys draft. But before I do that, before I even get into the Cowboys draft, what's up, Claude Bishop? How you be? Let's talk about the UFDAs, the unsigned free agents you guys got. You know what I mean? Undrafted free agents you guys got. Pull that list up. Let's talk about that. You know, because that's part of your draft haul. We need to have that conversation.
So are the undrafted free agents for the Pittsburgh Steelers, that's what you want to have a conversation about?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready with it.
Go ahead, Tate.
We signed running back Jordan Bird from San Diego State.
Okay.
Running back, kick returner, kind of a deuce kind of guy. Who y'all picked up, Ma in Dallas, Deuce Bond. We got a kicker, but that's meaningless. That's just a camp leg because we know Boswell not going nowhere. We got Tanner Morgan,
great
third arm for camp. He's a winner at Minnesota. Same 6'2", 6'3", 215, 220, same size as Bills Kenny Pickett. I think after this year with Mitch, I think maybe we just could roll him as a backup.
Yeah.
He was drafted to the USFL, number 8 overall, decided not to go, wanted to see if he can make it in the league. And I think he's a kind of worker, kind of grinder. And even if you know Big G, in our draft, what all SEC, all Big Ten players. We don't play around with them little Big 12 conferences, ACC conferences. All SEC, all Big Ten.
Right.
So we got Tanner Morgan. We got Monte Pottebaum, fullback, Iowa with the mullet.
Yeah.
He looked like a Steeler. I don't think Derek White going to be back. So maybe there's a role for him, Cam Hayward, as fullbacks, H-backs. And I don't know, man. We got to keep 3 tight ends. Maybe Cam plays both positions. And since we got Washington, maybe Gentry is out of there. I don't know. Zach Gentry, maybe he's out of there. We got, oh man, this dude, David Perales, Fresno State, had 11.5 sacks last year. I believe he's like 6'3", 255, 260. Hey, now he was playing against Fresno State and San Diego State and those. Is that the Big West? What's the name of that conference out there? Playing against those schools, but he had a lot of sacks, so he gonna get his chance. But let's not forget, James Harrison was an undrafted free agent, and he's a Steeler legend.
Correct.
Oh man, you can't leave the undrafted free agents out. Not at all. You just can't.
And last one, we got defensive tackle James Nehemiah. He's from Merritt College, small college, but 6'5", like 295, big boy. I mean, so I think a lot of these players, they don't make the squad, they can make the practice team. I like the UDFA pickups.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, you need the practice team because you never know. The injuries is a really big thing in the NFL. And you got to have next man up mentality, or in any sport. You know what I'm saying? You have to be ready to go. You know, I'm sitting in as we started and we began to, and what's up, everybody on TikTok, make sure that you have a question. Make sure you post it so that way we could go ahead and talk to you about it. You know, I was sitting and I was looking at, you know, our first round pick. You know, we had the reaction and I was like, you know, Mozzie was there and definitely I was like, oh man, we got Mozzie, and I was like, well, I don't know how I feel about it. And then this happened.
Mozzie Smith. Mozzie Smith.
Let's go, man! Let's go! Dan New! Yo, look at the text, man. I told you Dan wouldn't let me down, man.
And the crazy thing about that is if you don't know, that's Michael Parsons, the best player on the Cowboys, celebrating the Mozzie Smith pick. If you don't know, Mozzie was on their board and he was on their mind at 3:30 that day, 4 hours before the draft. That was who Michael was calling for. Reason why Michael was calling for him, man, is that if you have a good D tackle, as the Steelers know with Casey Hampton, as the Steelers know, well, as Tampa Bay know with the big boy, I forget his name, with all the hair. Vita Vea. Yeah, you got one of them. Your defense is clean. Your defense is clean, and what I mean by that is your linebackers are able to scrape and run free because they can't. The offensive lineman can't get to the second level. And Mozzie Smith was the strongest guy in the draft. I mean, it doesn't make sense. The guy literally bench press, normally at the combine they go 225. Well, he did 225 34 times. Just for good measure, to show off, he put another 100 on there and went 24 times. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. The guy is super strong. I mean, super duper strong. So, having that pick gave us a trickle effect on into the other side of the draft. And I'm going to tell you how in a minute. And it made Leighton Vander Esch better. It made the pass rush better. An already great pass rush in the NFL. Top 5 pass rush. You guys agree?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboys is a top 5 defense.
Yeah, so it made a top 5 pass rush even that more efficient because now, again, you're going to end up either having to double team him or Micah or Tank. You're going to have to pick your poison. And if Dan starts stunting with the other guys that he brought in, it'll get crazy. So the second pick that we had, I was a little discombobulated. This was me when the pick came in. I definitely felt like this. I definitely felt like there was some problems with that pick. But then I started thinking, and I talked to my brother. And as I was talking to my brother, I was like, I realized this guy was going to end up being inside of our 12 and 23 personnel. It's something that, and Schoonmaker being, and that's who we're talking about, not Jake, but Luke. Luke Schoonmaker is going to end up being another, I'd say, he's the 7th pick. He's not going to start. He's not going to beat out Jake Ferguson. He won't beat him out, but he's going to help and serve in our 12 and 23 personnel. So I wasn't as upset. But like I said, I told you guys about the trickle effect, right? The trickle effect was you bring in Mozzie Smith, who's a plug in the middle, right? You bring him in as a plug in the middle. Then you get a linebacker who you can use and twist that can actually get to the quarterback. Damone Clark plays our right side linebacker, who's a downhill, run stopping, block setting, linebacker, right? So now you get Overshown, DeMarion Overshown, who Tate had on his list as one of his potential draft targets, right? And now you can bring him in, and when you start doing twists, of course, you're going to get a guy who's that long, 6'4", and rangy. He's going to get to the quarterback or get it, move the pocket in a way that's going to make that pass rush even more effective. The other guys, this is the last pick to me that I really, there's another pick, but this is the pick that I really like, and it's Viliami Fehoko, Simi's brother. Who you say is that Vita Vea? That's his cousin. So they got a bloodline. All the Simi's brothers are in the NFL, right?
And we got we picked up a Fehoko in free agency too. They was at the Chargers D tackle.
Correct.
Yeah.
So probably cousins with them too.
All the cousins. They pedigree is great. The Samoan pedigree is great. So you got a player, but this guy was all Mountain West player of the year 2 years in a row. You know what I'm saying? Defensive player of the year 2 years in a row. just and he played in, but we're gonna move him to traditional two technique or even nose, so he'll play some there. Then Eric Scott, cornerback from Southern Miss. Here's where I felt like, yeah,
New Mexico.
no, he's from Southern Miss. Eric Scott Jr., cornerback from Southern Miss. I'm gonna tell you guys, and thank you for the comment on TikTok. Yeah, you're right. That it felt like a reach, but with Luke, but it wasn't. Here's the deal. With Eric Scott, there's not much film on him, right? And we do know that, you know, in the combine, he strained a quad running the 40, and with a strained quad, he still ran a 4.7. So he's a 6'2" guy, you know, 220 pounds. You know, it's just one of them things where I don't know much. I went and I've been seeking the film. All I know is he's a good locker room guy. He's a great character guy, and he went to Big G. Check this out. He went to Butler Community College. That tells you how good he was coming out of high school, because that's a community college where only All-Americans go. It's like
it's a top 25 junior college program in the country.
It's like the kids go to Kilgore, Navarro, you know, Butler, and then the JUCO in Kansas you went to. What was that, JUCO?
I went to JUCO in Iowa, but I was recruited by Coffeyville, Kansas. Yeah, so there's Ellsworth College, Coffeyville, Kansas. Yeah, for sure.
So you say a good locker room guy, Mod?
He's a great locker room guy.
Kind of like a father figure too, because he's almost 25 years old.
Yeah, he old. He old. You know what I'm saying? But you know, definitely one of those guys. And here's the pick of the draft to me, man. This is the pick of the draft, and my heart just kind of. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I got to tell it like it is, man. I dropped one. I dropped a tear, man, for this reason right here.
Hey, it's going good. This is Dad. My phone wasn't working. Look at here. Hey, it's going good. This is Dad. My phone wasn't working. Look at here, man. You want to come to work with me next week?
I wouldn't mind that at all.
I'm telling you, man, to see a dad call his son, I mean, I'm getting emotional thinking about it right now. You know, he watched his son work. He watched his son get up and grind. He watched his son put in the work. He's been a scout for over 18 years, been a scout with the Cowboys for 2017. But to watch his son put in that work and to be able to make the phone call that opens the door to your son's dreams. I told you guys last week, with this draft, it's more than just that person. It affects everybody around you. And G had said that too as well. And to see your father be able to make that phone call to his son and say, hey man, you coming in to work with me. And then here goes Jerry for good measure, getting his cry on.
And I've been speaking for everybody that's really in the heart of the Dallas Cowboys is standing here with a tear in our eye. We're so happy to.
I mean, you look at Jerry. Jerry's over here crying too. You know what I'm saying? And these ain't fake tears. And if y'all want to say, okay, nepotism, y'all want to say, oh, nepotism. No,
it's not.
Deuce
not at all.
A 3-time All-American.
Yeah, it's not at all. Not at all. The issue is teams pick talent. And that had to have been the feel-good moment of the NFL draft this last season. Teams pick talent. So that definitely, Mom, for sure.
Yeah. And so he's a 3-time All-American. One time, unanimous All-American, right? One time unanimous All-American. But the guy had 1,936 all-purpose yards this year. You saw he got busy against Alabama this year as well. Alabama whooped him, but he got busy. You know what I'm saying? He got busy. He's a little fella, remind you of Darren Sproles, but I mean, definitely he's one of them guys that can take and absorb contact in the NFL, man. I like him. And I gotta let Tate sound off on this pick too before I actually move to the next pick in the undrafted free agents. What'd you think about this pick with Deuce Vaughn for the Cowboys?
I think it's a great pickup, man. I mean, he was getting it in. I mean, mind you, in the Big 12, mind you. I mean, you know, not like getting in the SEC or Big 10, but He's a great change of pace player. And y'all and what's your boy name? The running back?
Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard gonna need some help. I mean, not Deuce. Deuce Vaughn isn't the dude that's gonna take a lot of carries, but he gonna have a set of plays that's designed for him to be in the game. He gonna help out on kick returns, punt returns. So yeah, I think he's a great player, great value at that point, and he get to go play with his dad. I mean, the Steelers have wide receiver Kobe White. His dad is in the front office for the Steelers. I believe Sheldon White. Maybe we can get some clips of them and put up Big G. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we don't got no clips here in Steeler Nation.
Yeah, those clips have actually been there from the Cowboy show. That's why I could show them again. But yes, to answer your question, Timothy Lyons, he's 5'5". He's 5'5". Doesn't matter. He plays a lot bigger. He definitely plays a lot bigger than that 5'5" height.
Darren Sproles is a good comp.
Yeah,
and I know Afton big on Darren Sproles and big on Deuce Vaughn because she's a Kansas State E-Mall, remember? E-Mall! That's what they say, Afton.
Yeah, for
Every man a Wildcat. That's what she said. Every man a Wildcat. That's what it's there for. The last pick, I just think Jerry and them just said, to heck with it. They're done drafting and just pointed, threw a dart at the dartboard. Jalen Brooks, wide receiver, South Carolina. I watched some of the film. I'm not impressed. Nothing makes me be like, oh, God, this is a guy. I mean, he's a guy. You know what I'm saying? He's not the guy. He's a guy. You know what I'm saying? Then when you look at the undrafted free agents, 2 of them popped out, man. Well, actually 3. 2 of them immediately popped out. The third one, I looked at and was like, man, his film is great. You know what I'm saying? But he's playing against lesser competition. First one is Hunter Lupke, and that's from North Dakota State, right? And this guy is a true fullback in the mold of Daryl Johnson, but he played running back. Could catch the ball. He runs 4.5 40, but he's a tremendous blocker. And once again, we're going to be running out of 23, running out of 12 in the shotgun. It's going to be a mix. I think we're going to see a lot of 12 formation, maybe probably 30% of the time, 40. And then, you'll see another 30% of the time us in 23, and then, another 30 in shotgun. And I'm excited about that. And then you got Tyrus Wheat from Mississippi State, the outside linebacker, who's just a truck. And then the one that I thought was really, really good, Isaiah Land. And this should hit Tate right across the forehead because we were talking about it. We actually talked about him early when Florida A&M was playing North Carolina. Isaiah Land is a defensive end who's just a baller. I mean, he had an excellent game against North Carolina. He acted a pure D donkey. There was some more, but those are the guys.
The tackle that you drafted earlier in the draft, he was killing him.
Yeah.
So Isaiah Land got picked up as a free agent by the Cowboys because the Cowboys spent a 5th or 6th round draft pick on a left tackle out of North Carolina, and he was punishing that dude all game.
Yeah, he definitely. Go ahead, Tate.
The only reason he didn't get drafted because he weighs 215.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he probably got to put on about 25 pounds to
reminds me a lot of Tank. He reminds me a lot of Tank. If he can get his weight up to where Tank is, I think he'll definitely be a good guy.
Who is Tank again, man? You're not talking about the wide receiver.
No. I'm talking about DeMarcus Lawrence. That we call him Tank. Tank Lawrence on the other side.
But DeMarcus Lawrence weigh about 260, 265, don't he?
Marcus Lawrence is a big boy.
Like I said, but when he came in the league, he was like 220. Similar body frame, and the youngster was upset. Youngster was upset for real. They put him on camera with his family, and he was upset, but he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna make the world believe us." So I mean, I graded my draft B- C+. And I think if you put in Brandon Cooks and if you put in Stephon Gilmore, you can add and improve the draft to maybe a B. Because we both got both of them for 5. You know, Jerry had 5 on it, and he gave away 2 fifth-round picks, and we got both of them. So I mean, they're included in our draft haul, but you know, for the most part, C plus, B minus. You know, that's where I would give the grade. What do you guys think about the Cowboys draft? And yeah, go ahead, because I got to give my opinion on the Steelers draft. 2 players, but go ahead, Tate. What do you think about the Cowboys draft?
I think the Cowboys had a good draft. The only pick I don't question the pick. It's Schoonmaker, the tight end from Michigan. Just because you guys got Hendershot and Ferguson.
Yeah,
I thought they were 2 good tight ends, but you see, Jerry know what to do. All your tight ends, now 3 tight ends, where they all from? What conference?
they all from y'all's conference.
The
All
Big
of
Ten.
Indiana,
Even Jerry know it.
Indiana,
You know?
Wisconsin, and Michigan.
Yeah. So I mean, I like the entire draft. I just questioned that pick at that point. I felt like there was other difference makers on the board, and for you guys to have 2 solid tight ends at that pick, you could have really got a difference maker that would have made the draft a little bit better. All in all, still a good draft, you know. I really like Mozzie Smith. So again, I'm giving y'all a B minus. I mean, which I think is a good grade. I mean, you know, y'all jokers would have been happy in school with a B minus. If I came home with less than an A, I was in trouble. So I was in trouble all the time, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, basically.
But yeah, nah, great draft. Solid B. Let me give him a B. Up from B minus. Give him a B. Because Mozzie Smith gonna make a difference. And I like what the kid do I like?
DeMarvion Overshown.
Oh, Overshown. You know that was my dude. I like that. I mean, you put him out there with you said Damone Clark, right?
Yeah.
From LSU a couple years ago. And you got Wolf Hunter back. And you can move Micah all around the field. And Dan Quinn gonna do all that. And on that back end, you got Curse, Malik Hooker. You got your boy. What's your boy name?
Stephon Gilmore.
I'm talking about another safety. No, he played in the box a lot though.
Wilson.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, that was definitely a top 5 defense.
Yeah, for sure.
G.
Hey, Watt, you know, outside of, well, let me say this. I'm going to say it this way. Dan Quinn is the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. If it's not this year, it's next year. Because the players that he's brought in over the last 2 or 3 seasons has hit the Cowboys and prepared their defense to definitely a top 5, in my opinion, top 3 defense in the NFL. But they haven't solved what's going on the offensive side of the ball. And so that's why I give them a C+ draft grade, because they didn't solve it, even though you brought in free agents. Because we didn't even talk about the free agent draft class that the Steelers brought in. Because if you say the free agent draft class with the draft class, we got an A++. So I don't even know if that grade exists, but we got an A++. But what where they missed, in my opinion, and which was one of the weirdest picks in the draft, was Schoonmaker at tight end. I always and Mod will tell you this. I sat down and I told Tate this before we jumped on with the Homies podcast, that I sat down for 5 hours, and it was like 2:00 in the morning when I got done going through all my draft evaluations, everything, and looking at players. So I just don't look at where the player, who he is, and to hate on him if he's from a certain school. No, I rate you based on 5 players after you who goes, right? And I think that was one of the biggest reaches in the draft for Michigan because of the 5 guys that went behind him in that particular draft in round 2. If you go and you look at who went behind him, Osiris Torrance, who had a first-round grade, DJ Turner, who was a top 5 corner, Brenton Strange, who was the number 1 or 2, he was a top 10 tight end as well from Penn State University, Drew Scruggs, the center from Penn State, that was a top 2 or 3 center, and then the one that they should have drafted, which was Marvin Mims, the wide receiver out of Oklahoma. If you want to give that help and compete in that division, I understand the defense because Dan Quinn, you're a mad genius. But if you want to compete in that division, you got to get Dak help. And so we're going to see what's going on with the Cowboys draft. But right now, C+. That's my grade.
Yeah, I think Dan Quinn said, "Here, hold my beer," and took the phone. He took the phone, He took the phone and was like, "Look, I'm drafted. This is my draft." You know what I'm saying? And he totally did that. He totally did that. So I can't say nothing about your quarterback and being the next head coach. This is what I will say, man. I was so impressed. Steeler Nation, listen to me. Y'all don't know who you got. And y'all next to the last pick. I have been on Corey Trice now for probably the last 3 weeks. I called my brother up and I said, "Hey, there's one in LA." I even did a podcast about it, Late Round Gems. And I said, Corey Trice is gonna be one of them guys. This guy is like a Mack truck. He's a cornerback who plays cornerback at the way the cornerback's supposed to be. And he's just nasty. See, I'm gonna tell y'all something about football. Loving football the way that I love it. I need to see you out there. I need to like put somebody in the dirt. You know what I'm saying? I got to see some hitting going on. You need to lay the wood. And if you understand, this is a guy who's gonna put on his hard hats and Timberlands every game, and he gonna come bring it. I'm talking about bring it.
Yeah.
He's a hammer. He holds a hammer. There's a picture out there of him even holding the hammer. If I'm thinking about it,
that's
he's
the Boilermaker way.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tell y'all for real. That was y'all's biggest pick, and y'all got some great picks in this draft. Joey Porter Jr., JPJ is a legacy pick. You know what I'm saying? I mean, y'all got so many legacies. Y'all got the Watt brothers. How many set of brothers y'all got over there? 3?
Yeah, 3
Well,
sets.
at one time recently, Watts, Haywards, Edmonds, and now Herbig's.
Yeah. And a legacy with Joey Porter.
And now Joey Porter is the son of a Steeler legend.
Just so much legacy picks
And
over there, man.
He grew up with Mike Tomlin's son. They were good friends, so you know.
Kid that played wide receiver at Boston College University.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not Debo, it's something like that. I forgot. I know Tomlin's son. I forgot his name.
Yeah, so the Steelers Cowboys, we got those out the way. Talk to me, Tate, about who draft you was like super excited about. You like, man, they got a haul. Talk to me. Who draft was that? Who was that for you in the draft?
Dino Tomlin. But yeah, man. Well, y'all know from last year, I'm gonna ask y'all. Every week we had the Pick'em show for the NFL season. Who was I with just about every week all year?
Russ and Detroit against everybody.
Detroit against everybody. And Russ gonna be back this year. But Detroit against everybody. Hey, man, first, real quick, before I get into Detroit's draft, because that's the team I'm picking, my extra team. But shout out to the chef, man. Chef Curry goes for 50 in Game 7, man. Come on, man.
Blew him out. 120, 100. Blew him out. Smoke.
That's the kind of Game 7 response we're supposed to have. Shout out to Chef Curry, man. But back to Detroit's picks. I thought Detroit had a great draft. I thought maybe they reached at some of the picks, but they got the players they wanted. I can never knock a team for getting the players that they want. So they took Jahmyr Gibbs in the first round, running back. Woo! Oh, why did they do that? And Big G is high on running backs. So I think 12, if it wasn't Bijan, was too high for a running back, right? So they pick him up, but then they trade out DeAndre Swift. Now it makes sense, right? They got rid of DeAndre Swift and don't have to worry about his 5th-year option and picking it up and paying him a whole ton of money. Now they got a running back under true rookie contract for 5 years now, and they can work around that. So I like the Jahmyr Gibbs pick. Pick 18, linebacker Jack Campbell. We know Jack Campbell a dude, man. I think 18 might have been too high.
The best middle linebacker in this draft. Jack
Yeah,
Campbell.
he was true middle linebacker. We're not talking about athletic traits and Trenton Simpson and Drew Sanders, little guy. We talking about pure, ready to play, get on the field, diagnose offenses, make tackles, get through holes, get through A gaps, B gaps. That's Jack Campbell. And can cover.
Downhill crushing somebody.
Downhill crush somebody, 6'5", 245. So he's gonna be the captain of that defense. Reminds me of a dude back in the day. They had Big G, who's in the front office, I think, in Detroit. Old Chris Spillman.
Yeah.
Old Ohio Stater.
Yeah.
From Massillon, Ohio. Remember he came to our high school. We was in high school.
Yeah, we played
Chris Spillman came.
Yeah, we played a pickup game with him, Benny Blades, Jerry Ball,
William White,
and myself, Lamondo Watts, Mike Jackson, and I can't remember the other guy. We played a 4-on-4 pickup game with them.
Michael Jackson was out there doing
No, Mike Jackson, one of the guys that I played high school football with. Yeah, we played
Mike Jackson, all Ohio safety, went to Miami, Ohio, and that's now down working at Georgia Tech. Shout out to MJ. What's up, man?
Yeah.
I'm bad. I'm bad.
So that was a great pick. And if that wasn't enough, they hadn't had enough yet in Iowa, so they stayed there and got tight end Sam Laporta.
Yeah.
And obviously they wanted him because they could have had Michael Mayer. They could have had Darnell Washington. A whole bunch of tight ends still on the board that may have been ranked a little bit ahead of Sam Laporta. But they picked Laporta because he's a true receiving threat, gives Goff that weapon. Goff for a little bit, because wait just a second, about to get to the other one.
Yeah,
He's going to be a weapon for Goff just for a little bit. But then at pick 45, true value again, probably a top 25 player, Brian Branch, safety, out of Alabama. He's a chess piece. Put him in the nickel, put him back at free, put him in strong, bring him down the box. He can go all over the secondary. He might not hold up at outside corner for a long time, but he can give you a series. So I really like that value. And then at pick number 68, here we go right here. First round talent, got hurt at the end of the college football season, so he dropped on a lot of boards. But Hendon Hooker. So listen,
the steal
Detroit
of the draft.
against everybody.
The steal of the draft.
Still, probably right away the third best quarterback. I'm putting him behind Bryce Young for now. Bryce Young, a little boy, could be hurt. Then you move Hooker up, but C.J. Stroud and then Hooker. I mean, Anthony Richardson, has the biggest upside. But right now, player for player, give me Hendon Hooker. But he's gonna sit behind Goff for a year. Go ahead and let Goff get his $30 million, whatever he getting paid. Then that come off the books next year because Hooker gonna be ready. Now Detroit got plenty of money to get free agents.
Yeah.
Detroit build some, man.
Yeah. And
then the defensive tackle pick number 96, Broderick Martin. So
great.
I really like Chicago's draft, man.
Man, you mean Detroit? Detroit's draft was really good.
My bad.
Yeah, Detroit's draft is real good. Claude Bishop said, "I'm not being biased. Darnell Washington was the steal of the draft." I think so, but we got to see what's up with his knees, man. Everybody, he said he went because the tenderness in his knees and what's going on. When we find that out, we'll talk some more about that. But I still like the pick. I love the pick. Big G, who was it for you, man? Talk to me.
Well, first of all, man, even before I get to the outside team or the team that I'm cheering for outside of the Pittsburgh Steelers, because that's my love, my hometown team, home love team, Pittsburgh Steelers, man. Shout out to B Dirt sitting over there in Pittsburgh. I just got to say, Mel Kiper, you are trash. Mel Kiper, listen, you had nerve enough to give the Pittsburgh Steelers a B grade draft in this draft and gave the Tennessee Titans an A. Have you lost your mind?
Well,
have you lost your mind, Mel Kiper?
Gee, that's his player, man. The Palmers were endorsing him. So when Levis, we'll Levis.
Listen, Kiper, you go from trash to hot trash. And if I keep talking long enough, you're going to get that one that those folks out there in Know-It-All Land loves the most. So I'm getting hot just thinking about Kiper and his evaluation of the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I want to talk to you about a team that I think is going to dominate a conference for the next 3 to 5 seasons.
A conference or a division?
A conference. The conference.
I know who you talk.
Yeah.
They just gonna step on everybody in the division, huh, G?
I'm talking about the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles have went down to Georgia and robbed everything that they could get. If you a Bulldog,
Philly Dogs.
shoot, they got fire hydrants, dog biscuits, everything you can think about. They done put the hedges, all the things that you can think about in Philadelphia. They Georgia North because they stole the first round draft with their first 2 picks. And Jalen Carter, who we all knew was the best player in this draft, how does he fall to 9? I understand the off the field issues, but the Eagles get him. They moved from 10 to 9 to get him. If I'm the Bears, what are you doing? Why are you making that? Let me get. I want Jalen Carter. I'm not going to give him to you, but they gave it to him. And then they creep down at 30, and you see all these other picks going on. And by the way, one of the best trade drafts you're going to see. 43 trades in the draft total, but trades was jumping off everywhere. They get Nolan Smith, who's the biggest, fastest player in the draft to come in and spell outside linebacker. So,
well, not the biggest, but he's the fast. He's the best.
At 239 pounds, at 6'4", ran a 4.32. That is, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys have never seen 4.3 speed before, I done seen it and played against it. I done seen some cats weighing about 185, 190, even like 195 running in them 4.3s. But a man at 240 pounds running a 4.3 is scary. So you still, with them 2 from Georgia, like I said, you move Georgia North. Then you go in the third round and you get Tyler Steen, who might have been the best left tackle in the whole SEC from Alabama. So you bring this kid in, and then you go, oh my God. Then we talked about the running back Chase Brown from Illinois. You go get his brother.
He won better than Broderick Jones.
I don't know, man.
No,
I watched a lot of tape. I don't know.
Joseph Donovan, thank you. New listener, Jordan Day. I don't think I've seen you before, man. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter on the line is going to be scary good for the Eagles. I like it.
Yeah. Then you go steal Sidney Brown. And if you go, first of all, shout out to the Big Ten Conference in Illinois having 3 defensive backs picked in the first 3 rounds. So they was causing some problems over there in Illinois. But if you put the tape on a Sidney Brown, man, that boy is coming. He's coming. He gonna knock you out, man. This kid is on the line of a Honey Badger type attitude, but a Bobby Sanders, Indianapolis Colts safety. If you guys remember Bob Sanders that played safety for the Colts from Iowa, this kid Brown is the same kid. He's the same player, right? So, and I'm looking and I'm watching them stash picks because they got guys that's going to come off the books, guys that's going to retire. And I'm like, okay, they can't have a better draft than what they already had. Then they steal again because Keely Ringo, the cornerback from Georgia, who was a top 5 corner, dropped all the way down to them in the 4th round. You get Taylor McKinney, who's a RPO zone read type backup quarterback. And then you get Amojo, the defensive tackle, who's a tweener out of Texas that can legitimately make the roster and go within that defensive line rotation. Ojimo, he's a beast. So now, stepping back and looking at the Philadelphia Eagles. And by the way, they traded for Swift on draft day. So now you got Swift and Rashard Penny playing running back in Philadelphia. It's a lot going on over in Philadelphia. And I think barring injury, they're going to dominate the NFC for the next few years.
Swift and Rashard Penny for cheaper than what they would have had to pay Miles Sanders.
2 for 1, Tate. 2 for 1. They out there hitting, man. Can you imagine some of the RPO zone read they're going to go with Swift? Because if Swift get to break the hole clean through the A gap or the B gap, it's adios muchachos, 80 to the house. Because he's got that type speed. And oh, by the way, another Georgia Bulldog pedigree bringing into the locker room for the Philadelphia Eagles. So, man, look, I listen, I love the Steelers. We got an A++ draft, but the Philadelphia Eagles knocked it out of the park with an A+ draft and draft day with the acquisitions they made for that team.
Hey, Big G, you think about an all Pennsylvania Super Bowl meeting up in Vegas next year?
Within the next 2 years, there's going to be all Pennsylvania Super Bowl. Within the next 2 years, it's come within the next two. There's a Super Bowl. There's a Pennsylvania Super Bowl coming on real fast.
Yeah, I think the team that got me was they didn't even have a pick to the second round. Didn't even have a pick. Was the Denver Broncos. You know, and you know that's Tate's guy. You know, Tate keeps saying let Russ cook, and you know I feel like, you know, after the hurt that Russ got in his heart from, you know, messing around and saw that he said he'll take that bet.
B-Dirt, get your bias out of here, B-Dirt. I'm about to hit you from long distance with the bias sign, B-Dirt. Get up out of here, man. Come on, man. You got to talk reality of what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm not scared at all. I mean, honestly, I'm not scared. I literally, that's why we fortified our defensive line. That defense, listen, you're going to have to beat the Cowboys, you're going to have to end up scoring, 20, 25 points. And that's going to be hard to do on that defense. So, you know, it is what it is. But this is my draft. They didn't even, the Broncos didn't even pick the first round, bruh. But they came into the second and the third round hitting. You hear me? Just straight up hitting.
Yeah.
First in the second round, they got Marvin Mims Jr. So now you think about that receiving room. They got Judy. What's the other kid over there, Tate? Receiver?
Hey, Cortland Sutton and KJ Hamler.
Hey, put them together. Hey, Russ got weapons. He got weapons. He still got a great tight end over there as well. You know what I'm saying? Then they turned back around in the third round. I don't know how this guy fell so low. They turned back around and got Drew Sanders.
Outstanding pick.
Ow, like for real. And they had another linebacker that was hurt last year. You know, the Broncos was hit with the injury bug last year. They were hit with the injury bug. And that's something you got to be scared of in the NFL. It does happen, and it happens so random. You just don't know. But again, so now they got some defensive help over there, and then got Riley Moss from Iowa, cornerback from Iowa, who's going to help them fortify their defensive backs because they already got, who was that other defensive back over there, Tate?
Patrick Surtain.
Patrick Surtain. There's another one on the other side too.
Well, Ross got hated on too because he's, there's no bias intended, but he's a white defensive back. But if you go back and look at the tape on Ross in Iowa, Ross was causing problems. Moss was causing problems. Problems in Iowa, man.
And then, you know, the last one is Skinner from Boise State, who was really good. Like I said, and Boise State players have a reputation of getting into the league.
Big 6'4", strong safety.
Yeah.
6'4", like 215, 220.
Yeah.
They had nobody in Denver like that since Atwater.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's his comp. His comp is Atwater.
Timothy Lyons, you know, I'm going to tell you something, Tim. You say you'll be convinced when you see Russ get relief get faster. I'm going to be honest with you. Russ is a gamer, man. I mean, you can't count on Russ having 3 bad years. I can't count it unless he's washed totally. And if you guys think he's washed, let me know. I don't think Russ is washed at all.
Russ's release is the same as it was when he went to 2 Super Bowls in Seattle, was carrying them with the price 6 or 7 Pro Bowls, 5 or 6 anyway. I mean, Russ release is the same. That's not what I'm talking about. Now, the thing I would question with Russ, Tim, is he too Hollywood now since he married Sierra? Because all this little downward trend seemed to start with that. Not blaming her. Russ got his head back in the game. And with all these weapons and with Sean Payton coaching, I think we're about to see a major Russ turnaround.
X Factor, Sean Payton. X Factor.
Yeah, I don't think Sean Payton going to allow him to have his own locker room to itself. You know, that all that stuff.
Hey, Big G. Cincinnati Reds bullpen just gave it up again in the ninth. 4-4. They come in, get the bases loaded with no outs. That's what the bullpen do for the Reds.
Tate, how many times do I got to tell you the Cincinnati Reds is dumpster fire, dog. I done told you so many times, man.
It's still my team, man. The Phillies ain't but 2.5 games ahead of them. You're like they setting the world on fire. But we'll talk baseball another episode. Go ahead, Ma.
Yeah, B Dirt said Tate been waving that Russ flag for 2 years.
Hey, watch this. Hey, B Dirt. I know you sitting there watching. Put this in the receipt book. Russ gonna have a better year than Joe Burrow next year.
Ooh! Oh, B Dirt, please hurry up, put that in the book. Please put it in there. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That was man. That might have been one of the biggest wow moments on the history of the KnoItAllZ podcast.
Spicy.
Wow.
Nah, Big G. You easy got the top 10 historic moments.
Hey man, this right here is up there with them, man. Russell Wilson's gonna have a better season than Joe Burrow. Oh my God! Wow! Wow!
I like it. I like it. Timothy Lyons said, "I've been watching Russ since he was a rookie at Seattle. Watch the film. His release is slow.
Watch the film. Went to 2 bowls and 6 Pro Bowls.
He did. Timothy Lyons says, "Okay, the Cardinals are keeping the last place for y'all. This is true."
Hey man, my boy Tate over here trying to break the internet with his wild comment, man.
He's
trying to break the internet.
Tested. Claude said it's good that you don't have to take a drug test to be on the show. Wow.
He failed.
All y'all be back here during the season, and we gonna the 101st episode, right? Episode 101.
101.
Sir.
We're gonna come back to this, and y'all see what I'm talking about.
Oh, we'll clip it. We'll definitely clip it because, I'm just going to say it like this. We done been on the money from some stuff, and if we say stuff with our chest, it's one of those things that I just look at and say, wow, you said it with the chest, because I done said some stuff with my chest. G done always said some stuff with his chest.
I live in chest land, baby. Don't get it twisted. I lives in chest land. That's how I get down.
I'm just saying, man. Look, the gist of the matter is that Timothy Lyons said, "What's your address?" I suppose he's trying to send you a drug kit, And Claude Bishop said, "I hope that you're right, Tate." Look, you gotta understand, man. Sean Payton's not just some regular coach. That's just gonna come in.
Hall of Fame coach.
Let me ask both of y'all this: is there more margin for Russ to go up and Burrow to go down? Right? Will we agree with that?
Yes.
So
yes.
Russ is gonna go up. Is more not likely, but more room for Burrow to go down than it is for Russ to go down instead of coming up. So they're gonna meet somewhere and it's gonna be tight. I'm just saying Russ gonna have a better year than Joe Burrow. And if it works out like I hope it do, maybe they meet in the wild card game.
Well, Tate, as I sat here and I started processing it, I thought about something, what you just said. The division, their offensive-led plays going on out there with Kansas City and Los Angeles Chargers, Denver, and the Raiders. They're trying to score 50. They could care less about playing defense. And the AFC North, it's about to get ugly. Because Baltimore, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh have improved so much.
And the weather, Big G.
Yeah.
I mean, you got what? 2 games in Dome, right, in that division.
Yeah.
The Raiders, the Chargers.
Yeah.
Both indoors.
Yeah.
You might get one or two little cold games if you're playing in Denver and Kansas City, but it's set up for Russ to come out, and Sean Payton gonna want to see him be better, so he gonna cut him loose.
Yeah,
and that's the big advantage for me. And when we start talking, it's Sean Payton. Like I was saying, you think Sean Payton is gonna settle for mediocrity?
No,
he's not coming in here. Matter of fact, he wouldn't have took the job if he didn't think that he could turn that program around. I know he can.
Who's coaching is better, the Broncos or the Bengals?
Sean Payton.
Broncos.
Sean Payton, Hall of Fame coach. They got Sean Payton out of retirement to come back and get it in. So, ain't no, I know the Bengals coach done been to a Super Bowl, but Sean Payton done been there, done that, bro.
Now,
Sean Payton,
the question would be, does Russ have enough line help? That would be the question.
That's the question.
Well, I like to do merch they got last year, the big country wood chopping boy they got out of Division II school. I want the Steelers to get him. I think they got one guy for sure coming back from injury. They got Javonte Williams coming back from injury. Like I said, the top two is not good as the Bengals receivers, but Cortland Sutton, KJ Hamler, Jerry Jeudy, and now Marvin Mims.
Yeah.
And that tight end that they drafted last year, they came out a great rookie season.
Right.
That's about to cook, man.
They signed unrestricted free agent Ben Powers from the Baltimore Ravens, and they also signed unrestricted free agent Mike McGlinley from the San Francisco 49ers.
Great line help. Both of them, Powers and McGlinchey. So We'll see. B Dirt, just put in the receipt book, man. What's today? April 29th?
April 30th.
April 30th.
Yeah. Put in the receipt book, B Dirt. April 30th, episode KnoItAllZ 101. Tate says Russ has a better season than Joe Burrow.
Oh, they also got Samaje Perine this year.
Yeah, the backup Javonte Williams. And they got a squad.
And B Dirt know what he can do. B Dirt know what he can do.
Yeah. And let's see, man. Ben Powers is there.
Yeah.
Cushenberry.
Yeah. They nice. Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick, Jared Jeudy, Marvin Mims.
They got McGlinchey. I forgot they got McGlinchey over there to help.
They might have the sixth best receivers in the league. Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick, Jared Jeudy, KJ Hamlin, Marvin Mims, Marquise Callaway. They might have the best. I would say maybe the Steelers and the Bengals, but we're saying depth 1 through 6, they might have it. They might have it for real. That's some hitters right there, man.
They might have the top 4. I can say that. They might have the top 4. And Perine, you're right. Perine can block.
Yes, he can.
Austin, Texas. Another Austin, Texas
product. I think I seen Perine score like 2 touchdowns against the Steelers when they played us, when we played them at home that second game.
Yes.
He the reason why they won that game. 37-30. Big G Abner said something. You wear a different hat every show.
Yeah. That's what we do in Big G land, man. It helps my creative juices.
Well, why is this junk always talking about himself in third person, Ma?
He always does. So before we get out of here, and before we get to our parting shots, Tate, you said something earlier, man. I just want you to open it up briefly. Dion was talking about there was only one HBCU player drafted in this draft. Talk to me about that real briefly, man. What do you think? And why do you think that was such a big deal for Dion?
I think Dion, coming from HBCU, having recruited for the HBCU and had a powerhouse in the HBCU at Jackson State, knows the talent that's in that division of football, and we know the lineage of players that's come from there. Some of the all-time greats. As Pittsburgh Steelers fans, Big G, we know Bill Nunn made a living of being one of the pioneers of drafting out the HBCU.
Oh yeah.
HBCU brought us John Stallworth, Donnie Shell, Mel Blunt.
Yes, sir.
And then 3 Hall of Famers.
Oh yeah, without a
Jerry
doubt.
Rice.
Yeah, I know about. I'm talking about the Steelers, but of course, Jerry Rice, Walter Payton. They everywhere.
Yeah.
But man. So I think Dion's just a little disappointed that he didn't see more of those young student athletes from HBCU schools be drafted. But I think it's a slow turn, slow cycle. It's gonna change because you can't deny talent. So when these guys get on the UDFA list for a lot of these teams, I'm sure they have, and they make it, teams will say, "Oh man, we probably should have drafted this kid outright and took a better look at this school." So it's coming. It's a slow process, like anything, in regards to how it goes with race and things like that. We slow to get here from the civil rights movement, from slavery, but things are better over time. Things are progressively still even getting better. And that's just a microcosm inside the macro. It's just gonna get better. But yeah, I understand Deion's disappointment.
Yeah, G.
Oh, for sure, man. But I understand the argument, but I like what he did even more because he transitioned from an HBCU and went to University of Colorado and probably stole Jackson State's whole team. However, and there was Jackson State kids that just didn't go to Colorado. So you guys know and understand, a lot of those Jackson State kids went to Division I programs. A lot. Florida State cleaned up, Arizona cleaned up, Arizona State cleaned up. Deion put the spotlight on the HBCUs. And so now, especially with one of my favorite topics is college football and the NIL portal, if you can play, there's a bag waiting for you at a big time school. So it might almost be like the HBCUs become like how the JUCOs was back in the day. You go down there and handle your business for a year and a half. The tape don't lie. Hey, man, let's get this kid in here and play because you can transfer tomorrow. So you winning at the HBCU and take the progression you talked about is 100% on the money.
I just want to say, shout out to Deion. His son graduated from Jackson State yesterday. So
and we'll be in Colorado tomorrow.
Yeah, he's on his way to Colorado for good. Now, as a graduate player, definitely got 2 years of eligibility still left, and he graduated college. I mean, that's what any father would want. So let's get at it, man. Let's go ahead and get to our parting shots. I will let G go ahead and start it, man. Go ahead, G. Talk to us, man. Parting shot.
Parting shots. That was one of the best drafts in my lifetime. Top to bottom, window to the wall, running, doing what you got to do. 1 through 7, one of the best drafts in NFL history. There was a whole lot of kids that made their families proud. But man, the depth.
Wow graphic.
Oh, that was one of the best drafts. I'm telling you. We're going to look back on
this. You just said in history, Big G. In history.
We're going to look back on this draft and we're going to say that. And we can't grade it right now because we don't have what's going. But when we go back, this draft changed the NFL. Listen, 2 years ago, I was screaming 11 personnel. Now I'm screaming 12 personnel to go along with 11. And now the emphasis goes back on the running back position. So the NFL is going to be exciting and more spectacular than you've seen in a long time. Every team has, listen, you know how they say any given Sunday? Any given Sunday for real. There's might be 1 or 2 bottom feeders in the league. But you can strap up and get 25 in the league. In the league, if you can score 25 points, you can win. The scoring average already jumped to 22. I'm willing to bet, and B-Dirt, you can put this on a receipt, that the scoring average goes up by 1 to 2 points. And it goes from 22 a game to 23 and 24 points a game per team, per average, per year for the NFL. And that's because the talent that's coming from college with this year's draft is going to make it that exciting. Anybody can win. Anybody, any given moment, any given Sunday, anybody can show up and handle their business.
Gee, I got to challenge that real quick, and not in a bad way. And Tate, you can help me with this as well. There's only 5 elite defenses out there, maybe 6.
That's the max. 5 elite. That's 5, the max.
6 elite.
Yeah.
And then when I say elite, they're just stacked. Their defense is totally
Dallas,
stacked.
Philly,
San Francisco.
Maybe Baltimore.
Jets.
Maybe Baltimore.
The Jets defense is nice.
And Pittsburgh and Baltimore right there too.
Pittsburgh, Baltimore, right? Man, 5, 6 elite defenses to where you're going to have to put it, I mean, for real, to beat them, you're going to have to come with your A game every week. You're just not going to beat them, man. The windows are too small and the players are too good. But go ahead, G.
Yeah, so that's my parting shot. I wish training camp started tomorrow. You know, I promise you I do. It'll be May 1st tomorrow when we woke up and the countdown is on. So as you're checking us out and watching us on the KnoItAllZ, check us out on the Dallas Cowboys Global. Check us out on the Homies Podcast on FFSN Sports Network, because we got a lot of excitement and a lot of things to talk about as we lead up to not just the pro football season, but the college football season. And I've been more excited. I'm telling you, this really stirred it up and churned it up for me, because the quality of this draft, and like I said, you putting it on the receipt, we're going to come back and look and be like, man, that draft was unbelievable.
All right, so Tate.
Yeah, Mod. My parting shot, man. Again, it's draft weekend, so why not stick to the draft? And I'm gonna piggyback off what Big G said about the Steelers draft. Great draft. One of the best drafts in history. It's a hot take. But I said the other day that it was the best draft for the Steelers since the 1974 draft, when they had 4 or 5 Hall of Famers drafted. The only team ever draft 4 or 5 Hall of Famers in the same draft.
Woo!
So I have to agree with them. It's a great draft. They got everything they needed. Yeah, I'll take a while. Put it on the receipt. Who cares? I've been wrong before. I've been right a lot more.
That's right.
But,
that's right. That's what I'm talking about, Tate. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Put that chest out there, Big G.
Get it in, man.
Chest, man.
That's what I'm talking
That's
about.
what I'm talking about.
But yeah, man, we got players at every position we needed. Offensive tackle, a starter. Cornerback, a starter. Defensive tackle, probably halfway through the season, a starter. Darnell Washington, the second tight end behind Freiermuth, but when we go a lot of 12 personnel, he's gonna be on the field for a lot of snaps.
I dare him to play us crazy down in the zone, red zone, Tate. I dare him. And then Nick Herbig is gonna be the third edge rusher coming in for TJ and Alex Highsmith. So love what the Steelers did. Con Artist is at it for his first time. He'll be at it for a lot of years, hopefully, him and Coach T. Mm-hmm.
So I love the Steelers draft. I want to say that, man, this next round, the NBA playoffs, we got the chef versus the king.
Woo! Man.
Big G, look at these rivalries, man, these matchups. You got Golden State Lakers. You got Knicks Heat, old school, grimy. You know how that was.
Yeah.
You was a Knicks fan back then.
39 and a half years, and I'm still looking for John Stark.
G, are you the bad luck for the Knicks, man? As soon as you move, they start doing well. Is it you?
No, man, it's my hate for John Stark.
Then super old school, Big G. We got the Sixers and Celtics. You old enough to remember Dr. J. Larry Bird.
Oh yeah. Moses Malone, Robert Parrish.
Looking forward to finish watching the rest of the NBA playoffs. And man, we potentially got a Mother's Day special in the work with some old gold girls. We just finalize some details, so be on the lookout for that. And G said, check us out on the Homies, the Dallas Global Cast, the Cowboy Global Cast on FFSN. And we're on the Homies. Obviously, those are the football shows. But hey, we want everybody to check us out on That's Rather Cavaliers, the basketball podcast. I don't care if you didn't like the cast. Listen to us, and check us out. And I think if you're still here in the live chat, like the show, let your friends know, and like us on Twitter, on Facebook. Join our Facebook group, the KnoItAllZ Facebook group. Join the page. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in there, just random facts, different posts. So check us out everywhere we at.
Yeah, man, I love it, you guys. I love it. I have to get a basketball take in here. Man, I really respect what the Lakers did. The Lakers said, you know what? Bron was hurt at the end. AD, who was always down, said, nope. I'm not.
He ain't always down no more, Mott. He all day, every day.
He said, I'm all day, every day now. And then they went and got some young gunners, some young legs. See, I try to tell y'all don't listen to us, but you got to listen to us, man. If you surround young legs with old wisdom on the basketball court, you are going to have a good team. You know what I'm saying? That team is going to turn it on, because when you start letting them young legs get out and run and do all of the physical work, and the old heads get in there and just be dependable, hey, man, it turns the whole game and dynamic around, man. And I'm excited to see Chef. I'm literally going to watch that series. I ain't watched the series yet, really. You know what I'm saying? I done got in at the end of games, and, because really I've been waiting for it to get better. You know what I'm saying? Denver is over here just smacking people in the face. They've been over there chewing bubble gum for a little while.
And Big G called Denver early in the year. Then Phoenix got KD. He switched. You should have stuck with your first pick, Big G.
The winner of that series is going to represent the Western Conference.
I'm just saying, Denver over there done smack people. They've been sitting there eating pizza and popcorn for the last couple weeks, just chilling. You know what I'm saying? Last couple of days, they done took care of their business. So now like I said, when I'm looking at it, bro, like, I'm excited for these. I'm gonna watch, man. Like, I'm excited to see Braun versus the Chef. See, yep, eating the skinny pop. You know what I'm saying? I got some bags in there too, so we can go ahead and just pull them out. We just start having the skinny pop war. But man, my thing is that you guys, basketball, and we're gonna turn our eyes and our ears and the know-it-alls. We're gonna jump on it, and we're gonna have our takes. I guarantee it. But man, I'm excited now since the draft is over. I'm really depleted. We went in, and it's a personal favor on my part and shot. It's a personal favor. I love everybody who has continued to chime in. Thank you for the new listeners and the new watchers. We're trying to do something, and we're not trying to do it for our own. But we want to make sure, man, that you get the best in culture talk. We want to make sure that you get the best in sports talk. You know what I'm saying? We want to make sure that you just get the best in chatter, period, man. We're going to give you some inspiration. We're going to give you some motivation. We're going to talk some real sense to you. And we're going to give you some knowledge to where when you go and you talk to some people, you got some information. We're going to arm you with information. That's what we're going to do. So if you're listening to us, man, make sure that you like and subscribe. Make sure that you tell other people about it. Make sure that you ask them to join the channel. We're trying to do something special for all of you guys, man. What we're going to do for our 400 subscriber, we're going to give away some merch. For our 400 subscribers, we're going to give away some merch, some know-it-all merch, which we're going to have here in the next couple of weeks. And we're going to make sure that we do that. And every time we hit a milestone, we'll be giving something away to make sure that we just appreciate the people, the fans of the program. You know what I'm saying? We want to appreciate all of the fans of the program. And again, like I said, I want to thank, he said, B-Dirt said, do I look like a gerbil when I eat popcorn too? Wow. Okay. B-Dirt, you wildin'. You wildin'.
Hey, Mod and Tate. Lakers in 6.
Ooh.
Lakers
spicy.
In 6. Lakers in 6.
Spicy. Hey, this episode might be known as 101, the hot takes. You know what I'm saying?
Lakers in 6.
There's some hot takes in here, bro. There's some hot takes in here. Wow, the Lakers in 6?
In 6. The Lakers in 6.
The Lakers in 6. Thanks, Timothy. Wow, man. Honestly,
thanks, Tim.
You feeling that?
And Big G talking about me and all my hot takes, man. I got the Lakers, but the Golden State got home court advantage, right? And Golden State played way better at home than they did on the road. Now they got home court advantage. I don't know that Golden State has an answer for AD.
Yeah.
They ain't got no answer for Braun. They ain't got no answer for Braun.
Well, Braun been rested for a few days. They don't play till Tuesday now.
Mm-hmm.
So wow. I don't know if I got the Lakers. I don't know if I got the Lakers in 6. I think that probably goes 7.
I just can't go against Chef. I can't go against the Chef. But even though they got the younger legs, I just can't go against Chef. Definitely, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure that you like and subscribe on YouTube and Twitch so that when we go live, you'll definitely get those notifications. Make sure that you holler at us, man. I mean, you can holler at us on the Know It All Facebook page. jump in the thread on the comments. You can get at us there. And then make sure you say something to us, man. If you say something to us, we will talk back. That's what we do. I mean, we talk back to each other. So, for myself, for Tate, and for Big G, we are out of here. We will holler at you guys later. Peace.